Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another day off stream. So today, this isn't going to be too terribly long of a stream, honestly. I just really do want to talk about the Lego City here, the Ninjago City here, rather, and really go over that today. Now, some of you who may be in our Patreon audience, you'll know that unfortunately today, which is our usual recording time for Ninjago Cast, we didn't do Ninjago Cast today. There's a multitude of reasons for that. Maybe we'll discuss it when we do the episode. But for now, we just didn't do it. But we will be doing it. It's not going anywhere. It's not canceled. So, but to kind of make up for that a little bit, I am going to go ahead and talk a little bit about this. The Ninjago City, which if you've been following the Twitter account at the Eljay Johnson with an E, then you'll know that I've been building this over the last few days, and I just recently completed it. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, yeah, it's massive. It's honestly like it's difficult to size really. Just a look at the minifigures. So this is Jay. He stands right there. So it's massive. It's a huge structure. And before the release of whatever they have coming out on or announcing on September 1st, this is currently the third largest Lego set ever released. And it absolutely shows it. It's massive. So let me see. I'm going to go ahead and put Jay back. Oh, come on now. There you are. Okay. So, this is considered a modular structure, I believe. There we go. And that means it can connect to other buildings, other modular structures. It can also be taken apart. For instance, we can take this top structure off. Now, this is interesting. It's all sand green. And it's a bunch of different components that have all been kind of stuck together. Oh, come on. Okay. So, for instance, you have this bottom area right here. Slides open. It's kind of a toilet. Kind of funny. But this in and of itself is just a massive structure. And I will get to the minifigures during this, of course. So let's go ahead and go through it kind of level by level. Do keep in mind this isn't the only video that I'm going to be doing where I talk about this. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot regarding this because it's a really fascinating set. Alright, let's just get over here. Okay. So this is Lloyd's house. Lloyd Misako's house. And, you know, it's a very small, almost kind of like an apartment. The roof comes off, and in here you can see, here's a minifigure. This is just, you know, it's Lloyd's outfit, but it's kind of like on a mannequin. So, you know, the actual print, the actual minifigure isn't that out of this world. Like, you can get it in other sets, like the Green Mech Dragon, which it is behind this. But the room is really interesting. You know, it's got the patterns. This almost looks Bionicle-esque. But I have no confirmation and no reason to believe that it is a Bionicle reference. So I wouldn't assume that it is unless told otherwise. So this is the house. These windows do come open. Interestingly enough, you got a lot of really great details in here. You got like a lava lamp, got a little car, a little statue. This opens up. I figure this is like Lloyd's bed because you got this kind of inspirational poster. It's like lifting weights. But the beds do split apart, and then you have a bed down here on the bottom bunk. There is a family photo of the Garmadons. There's Misako, and then just Wu, and then finally Lord Garmadon. Over here, you've got like a little TV. You kind of have a kitchen area, like drawers, a microwave. It's meant to be kind of just like an apartment. And it's really cool. I'm sure it's going to be a bit bigger in the movie. But that goes there. I didn't really know where to put this. Like, I didn't... Maybe I missed it in the instructions. There's not really a designated place for any of these minifigures, but this one too. So, I just store it, you know, hidden in the beds. So it's always kind of just there. And then you just go ahead and just put that back on. That's cool. And yeah, I do know this, like, this symbol does look a lot like Eljay's symbol, but the thing is, it's a resemblance. Like, this is not a unique pattern. Eljay's symbol isn't exactly the most, I don't know really how to put it, but it, like, this is a pattern I would make without associating it with Eljay. So, okay, now let's go ahead and get this part off. All right. So this is the top portion. The J minifigure is not unique to this set. Misako, I think, is. I think Misako is unique to it. Because I recently got the one in the collectible minifigure packs. Now, the print isn't unique, but her using this print, it is. So, this guy, this henchman here, also isn't unique. He's in one of the other sets. So these three aren't exactly difficult to get a hold of. This is a cool function, this kind of rotating sushi bar. I really like this. Underneath the bathroom, you're going to see like a mustache and a chef's hat. And apparently that has that has something to do with, I think, the crab chef that we're going to get to later. But over here, you have these really fantastic designs. Now, you do have a policewoman here. I don't know if this is unique to the set, but it certainly isn't like a must-have minifigure, I don't think, because it's just kind of a standard police design. These two builds here, these are fascinating. They're just so creative, so unique, but I feel that anyone who has any issues with symmetry and getting things just perfect, not only you're not going to like this set for all of the stickers, just a massive, unholy amount of stickers, but this thing is going to give you a heart attack. It is really particular in how you get everything done. But once you do get it done, it's cool, it's creative, it looks cool. Now, anybody that knows me and knows TTV knows that we like Bionicle. And in Makuta Fest this year, the final Makuta Fest, we did get confirmed by one of the designers on the set, Nick Voss. That is intended, you can't see it because the contrast is really weird and I don't know why. That is intended to be a reference to the Glatorian system, a symbol from 2009. I think that's really cool. So you have it all the way up at the top of the tower, or the top of the structure, but not necessarily the tower. And it's just really nice to see that. The one above it is not a Bionicle reference. That's from, I think it's called Alien Conquest. So for those who are thinking it was the UDD symbol, it is not. It also is not our symbol. So there you have it. But that is the Glatorian symbol. I was very glad to see a third Bionicle reference, and we'll get to the others in just a moment. We have a question here from Wadon. He asks how fragile is everything, and I don't think that it is fragile in the sense of, you know, a small gust of wind is going to break it. Like, if you drop it, oh, it's going to be destroyed because it's Lego. But it feels sturdy. Nothing feels loose like it's going to shake off. Obviously, the minifigures are maybe the only exception, but that also really depends on where you place them. The only thing that really gave me any trouble was the cherry tree right here, because I wasn't sure how to pose it. It really needs to go for a particular look, and the instructions kind of conflict look-wise with... They're not very clear about how it's meant to be posed. I'm sure that's to leave it up to your imagination and just let you do what you want. But that was the one thing that I had probably the most trouble with. Let me see. Let me see here. Alright, so the next part. Right here. Okay. So, I love everything about this set. But when building, this was probably, and still remains to be, I'd say at the bottom of my list of my favorite pieces, parts about this set. It's kind of neat. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fashion store, I think the designer said. and you've got a bunch of cloth pieces, but also you have phones. You got these hats. You got a skateboard. Maybe it's a prop shop. I'm not too sure. Over here, you have the cherry tree, and yes, this is a construction piece. You have one CCBS bone, and you also have a Star Wars limb piece in this dark brown. And if you look in there, you can see there's kind of like roots wrapping around it. And it's really cool. And then over here, I think this is just kind of a... over here, just kind of a room. I'm not really too sure about this. And, just noticed something. Okay, we're going to do some live work on this as soon as I can get this out. Let me see. Come on. Alright. Well, while I work on this, I'll answer some of your guys' questions. Luke asks, how is your day going? It is going quite well. It's a bit hot, though. But how are you guys doing? I always want to know how you guys are doing. Hopefully well. Let me see. And then Luke asks... Luke Razor, there are two Lukes here, asks, would you bring back Bionicle for the permanent sacrifice of Ninjago? Absolutely not. Not at all. Bionicle has had its place. It has had its stay. We don't need to keep dredging it back up. Ninjago is a powerhouse, and I think legitimately one of the success... It will succeed Bionicle in many ways. Okay, so yeah. So, minifigures here. So we have a few of these. Now, these aren't part of the listed minifigures the set has, but they are here, these kind of mannequins. Now, you can get this design from the collectible minifigures. You can get it from the Nia minifigure. So, there are two of them here, which is really nice, but they are not unique to the set. You have this gal here. I think she is exclusive to this set. I'm not sure if these are unique prints or not, but she's a neat minifigure. It's cool. You do have Lloyd. This is not a unique minifigure. You can get this in the collectible minifigures for one, and then you can get this in the City Chase for another. So, I don't know. It's a cool level, but it's definitely not my favorite. It's probably at the bottom of the list for me. But it is still really, really neat. I'm just going to put this over here. Let me see. Luke, one of the Lukes. Howell asks, do any of the TTV members have a flicker? X does, I know for sure. He has a flicker. But I don't know about anyone else. So, alright. So moving on, we've got the next level right here. Now this is a really cool level. You got the crab shop, and it's really detailed. It's difficult to see because of high contrast, but it's really great. You got a great function just in here. If you want to cook some crab, just whoopsie daisy. Well, tough beans, I guess. Let me get that real quick. Okay. Alright, so if you want to cook some crab, just put it in there, flip a lever, and boom! There it is. Really, really great working function. Uh-oh, whoops, fell out. Oh, wait, no it didn't. I was lied to. The crab guy was holding a cooked crab, and it made me think it fell out, darn it. Okay, we're all good. Anyway, the inside of the shop is just phenomenal. I love how this looks. It's a great, great look. And I love the outside even more. It's just brilliant. Over here, we have the movies. And for most people, I'm sure they know that there are other movies hidden behind here. There's like the Brick Separator, the next movie, which was a reference to a earlier set. There is a car advertisement. And of course, yes, there's the Galador poster coming soon. Ooh. Wouldn't surprise me if Galador came back at this point. But the one that I have is, of course, Shadow of Ronin, mainly because it has, right there, Sentai Mountain, the Exoforce reference. And you have references all over this to different things. Oh, somebody fell over. Oh, it was a guy. But, just references, it's chock full of it. Level 2, however, is the only level without a Bionicle reference, just so you know. So let's answer a couple questions before moving on, so I can just rest a little bit. Whew. Okay. Jared asks, the old fishing store is coming out next week. Are you going to get it? I am not. I think it's a brilliant set. It looks phenomenal. I just don't have any interest in it. But it does look great. Broken Newbie asks, if you could combine 2 Bionicle sets in one mock, what would you combine and make? Can I make that 1 Bionicle set and 1 Star Wars set? Because I did that. I've got a couple of pictures of that up on Twitter, because BZ Power, they were gracious enough to run a contest over at Brickfair, Virginia this year, and I ended up winning it, and it was a lot of fun. So, alright, let's look at a couple more things. We have this ATM. Now, the ATM does work a bit. You see, over here, on the back, there we go. See that little green thing right there? That's the function for this. And it doesn't stick together very well, or at least in my experience. And that'll cause either it to break, and even if it does work, you get all the money coming out, sometimes the money will get jammed, and then sometimes the ATM will just pop right off, just completely. And it's really unfortunate. Here we have the comic shop. Now, in the instructions, which, by the way, keep these instructions, guys. They're basically novels. They're phenomenal. Says he runs, like, Doom Mother's Comics or something like that, but it's comics with an X, and there's no X. But the comic sign is just phenomenally done. It's brilliant. Inside the store, let me see if I can get a better look in here. Okay. I'll just bring this out because I want to show this to you guys. Okay, so, like I said, references galore. So, these are a bunch of trading cards. And I cannot guarantee that this is going to focus, but you'll recognize a few familiar things. That right there, this blue one, that's Laval from Chima. That's little Garmadon from the TV show, little Lloyd. Let me see. This, I think, is from Power Miners. This is from Fabuland. This right on the end here, it's from Johnny Thunder, Orient Adventure. It's just chock full of things. And that just goes right back in here. No, come on. There we are. So, ton of different things. There's like a little ledge of figures right there. We know that those are meant to represent the ninja. So that is not a reference to Bionicle, but that's alright. We have quite a few of them. Oh, and up here as well, in the comics area, we do have a poster. That is the cat poster from the first Lego movie. Really clever stuff. Okay, let's get to the final level. And this is hands down my favorite level of all of them. Now keep in mind, guys, this is not going to be a very long live stream. I just want to talk about this a little bit and also chat with you guys for just a bit. But this isn't going to be like 2 hours or anything. It's probably going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. So just so you guys are aware. Okay. So, this is the old world, as I think it's called. And it's just beautiful. Absolutely spectacular. The work that has gone into it is great. Oh, got to talk about minifigures on the second level. So I'm pretty sure that they are all unique. I know that a lot of you guys are probably going to want this one. This is Mother Doomsday. And yes, that is Galador. It's got back printing as well. Got the Galador symbol. There are a couple other minifigures. There's Guy, and he's just kind of in a bright pink shirt. And that is also a unique minifigure. And then you got this little kid right here. And he has the classic Lloyd Ninja design on his torso. And that is also a unique minifigure. And of course you got the chef. So, really good minifigures. I'm sure that they're going to fetch a high price on Bricklink. In any case, Old World. It's simply beautiful. The architecture is great. Look in here. You can't see it because of the high contrast. But let me see. Like that right there, that piece, it's a unique piece. It's one single piece and it looks brilliant. And it just, the architecture is outstanding. If you were following the developments on Twitter, you'll know that this building here, who has no resident that I'm aware of, contains, where is it? There it is. If you look in there, it says Arso in the G2 Okotan language. Arso is an inside joke between members of the group that one of the designers is from. It is an airport. So there you go. That is one of the Bionicle references, one of 3. And that just goes right here. There we go. But there's a bunch of great stuff. This building is also really cool. Here you have one of the characters we originally thought to be Misako. She's in here making tea. We also have this hairpiece. This is a hairpiece in a solid color acting as a plant. Really ingenious stuff. Both these buildings have these sliding glass doors. Sliding rice doors, rather. So let's just put that right back there. Move over here a little bit. Kai. He is here. Oh, okay. So Wolk from the audience saying that's not a unique piece, but it's a unique recolor. So, news to me. That is cool. So Kai's here. That is a really tall hairpiece, but this is a figure that is currently unique to this set. For some reason, he's walking around with a croissant. I don't know why. Like, that's never really been a thing with Kai, so I don't know why he's walking around with one. So here are my 2 favorite references in the entire set. Easily. Let me see if I can just kind of get these off. There we go. Come on. There we are. Alright. These are stickers. These are Minogue references. The one on my right is, and hopefully the right on dogs. Hopefully the right on this, what you're seeing. And that is Makuta. That is a symbol of Makuta from Minogue. And on the left is an Usul symbol, also from Minogue. And I think this is phenomenal. It's a great Generation 1 reference. It's right on the front. It works with the aesthetic. Just a beautiful, beautiful look and print. I really do love these prints a lot. I think they're great. These stickers, rather. I'm sorry, they're not prints. They're stickers, so you gotta be really careful. I try to be as careful as possible with all of the stickers on this set, but I made a very careful point to be extra careful with any Bionicle reference. They had to be perfect, or else I would be devastated. So to put it bluntly, they're perfect. I know some people are saying that they're a little off, at least these 2 are a little off. I can assure you it's a camera angle. Not the camera doesn't really demonstrate how spot on I had to get these. It was a requirement for me. Not all the stickers here I got on perfectly. Like some of the transparent ones you can see thumbprints, because your fingerprints, because I didn't really care too much about those. But all the Bionicle ones I made very certain they were as good as I could get them. I'm very happy about that. Moving on to around back, we can see just a great diorama here. You can't see it too well, but back there's like a little store selling fish and crabs. In here we have a little building right here, and that is where the cleaning robot sits. So it's a really cool room in there. We do have this boat, and yes, on the box it says that this boat does not float. But I will test that. I'm going to be making a video actually putting that to the test, because I think I think without the minifigure, no. The boat's not going to work. It's very back heavy. So it's going to kind of Titanic. But I wonder if the guy on the bow will kind of balance that out. And so it allows, like, you're going to get some air bubbles to kind of be captured up in here. You know, it's Lego, it's light plastic, so it's going to kind of retain a sense of buoyancy. I'm really interested to see if that is possible. So I will test that and I'll make a video showing my findings. Minifigures. I think every minifigure on this floor is unique to this set. At least I'm fairly confident, at least. I know Kai is. I haven't seen this guy before, but I cannot make certain about that. Same goes for the fisherman. I definitely know that the gal in here, she is, and then we have like this small minifigure, Sally. I do not think any of the pieces from Sally are unique to her, though. Also, Ninjago City has a lot of frogs. Like, there are frogs scattered throughout the city. And I'm not just talking about these green frogs down here. There are like frog references. Like, even in the comics shop, there's a yellow frog. I think there's a gold frog somewhere. So, a lot of frogs. But the minifigures are really great in this level. And like I said, I love the architecture. I love everything about this. This is really cool. It's just a really outstanding level. And it makes a lot of sense that it'd be the base one. There's a lot that goes into it, too. Like the water, especially, it looks just brilliant. So, and then putting it back together is really, really easy. It's just a matter of lining up and stacking everything. So let's go ahead and do that. Thankfully, they make it easy to kind of, they give you some guidelines. Let me see. There we go. Nope. What did you do here? Like, okay. Well, this is fascinating. Guy fell down again, so I gotta do a little bit of maintenance here because for some reason these pop out. Okay. Just a moment. Well, Walk from the audience is suggesting that the reason the does not float thing is there is that people are unable to sue them if it doesn't, because they never promised it would. I don't know if that's an official reason. That doesn't sound like one. But I can tell you now, if this boat floats, guess what? That's what is it? What's the term that all the cool kids use nowadays? Misadvertising? No, it's something that sounds terrible. Not misrepresentation. I forget the term. In any case, it'd be wrong. I don't think it's gonna float, unfortunately. Well, no, I think it's gonna float with the guy. So, we will see. Okay. Let's bring this back up. Question from the crowd. Luke Howell asks, are you excited for The Last Jedi and the sets that will go along with it? Nah. It's not that I'm not looking forward to it. It's just, like, I'm not super into it. I don't buy Star Wars sets, and I didn't even see The Force Awakens in theaters, so not something I have a vested interest in. Alright, there we go. One more thing to put, and here's the back of it. It's really well done as well. I'll show you guys the elevator in just a moment. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay. Now we'll get this house back up on there. There we are. Okay, let me show you the elevator real quick. Elevator works really well. It has a little bit of trouble getting between the levels sometimes if they're just not lined up, but works very nicely. Really cool. It's a nice function. Explains how people can get from one level to the next. Somebody asked earlier, how heavy is this? And to be perfectly honest, I have not yet attempted to lift it, but I will tell you now, just by turning it, it's heavy. It's very heavy. There's a lot of weight to it because it has a lot of pieces. But there you have it. That is the city. Easily, my favorite Lego set, full disclosure, hands down, is the very biased answer, of course. It's Liwa. He's my favorite Bionicle set. Liwa Mata from 2001. Generally my favorite Lego set, just because it's nostalgic, it's just a bias. But this is hands down my favorite system set ever. It is amazing. Just an excellent set. The build never left me feeling bored. I was never frustrated during it. I was never disappointed. Just an absolutely outstanding building process. It took me close to around 15 hours to do. I don't think that, I didn't try and speed build or anything, and I wasn't focused the 100% of the time, so it's not the fastest you can do. It's not the slowest either. It's just I timed how long it took me to do it, just casually building, and it was great. I definitely feel that for the price tag it has, it's worth it. I feel it's borderline a steal because it's a great price per part ratio. Because the set, the amount of pieces is 4,867, and it makes amazing use of this. The designers did such an incredible job. I'm no mockist, but I can appreciate all of these techniques. They're just really incredible. Like this, the car doors being used up here, and then the two pieces being used up there. Just stellar. It feels solid. It looks really great. If I had to give some issues, I'm not a big fan of this just because I don't really know what it's meant to be. I think a prop shop, a fashion shop, but it feels a little out of place. If I had to guess, story relevance wise, it's probably where Ninja get their costumes from. But, what else? What other issues were there? Definitely too many stickers for me. I'm good with stickers. I can put them on decently well. But they're too many. They're not all perfect, of course. I just don't like dealing with them. The added stress. I can appreciate them. I can appreciate them being optional. I can appreciate, you wanting to put it on something else. But for stuff like this down here, I was so worried about getting them just right. It put a lot of pressure, personally. Now, maybe this is just pressure that I put on myself, but it was definitely pressure to get that right. But I'm very glad I did. I know it sounds like I'm really gushing about this, I'm just really pushing it. It's like, wow, this is the best, this is the best, this is the best. It's because I'm just almost a little overwhelmed with how good this set truly is. Now, I've had some small system sets before, like you can see a couple of them over there, the Green Mac Dragon and City Chase. And I have a bunch off to the right that you can't really see. I have a couple of Minecraft sets, and, those are fun. And I've had a bunch of other system over the years. This is the biggest system set I've ever owned, and I've ever built. And it blows me away, the level of complexity and detail and the amount of the techniques that were used. I don't think I could stop recommending this. It's just an outstanding set. Because I know a lot of people, they got the Temple of Air Jitsu, was it? And everyone really, really loved that and said it was really phenomenal. But this feels like I never got the Temple of Air Jitsu, but it feels like that was injected with just I don't even know how to put it. It's just such a massive upgrade from anything Ninjago has ever had. To me, at least. Looking at it and getting to build it. Now, the Temple of Air Jitsu, obviously it's a smaller set, but it also does a really great job of conveying one very simple aesthetic and one simple look and one structure, one small area. Obviously, we've heard from the designer this isn't, to scale accurate to the city of Ninjago. I don't know how much of this we are actually going to see, but this is a lot of different aspects of a city all rolled into one set. And I think it does a really great job bearing that in mind. My favorite thing about it, of course, are all the references. I really appreciate what the set designers did. They have all these fantastic references to things that obviously appealed to me. But they have it for a bunch of other people as well. Like, I know Galador is a fun in-joke right now, and people are fond of that. But, like, it's got Exoforce, and I love Exoforce still. And even some of the mechs nowadays are very reminiscent of Exoforce. And it's got three Bionicle references. That's the most of any of the reference themes in the set. 3 of them. And they're all of a different era of Bionicle. Like, down here, you got Monog. You've got Generation 1 and basically the first 8 years with Makuta and the Usul, the Rahi. Are those the images I would have picked? Probably not. But they're still great choices. I love them. I think they did a great job just adding them in. Then you do have a G2 reference. And of course, I know there are a lot of mixed feelings about Generation 2, but I'm glad they acknowledge it. Because it still happened. It's still a part of Bionicle's history. And then you have a 2009 reference, which, to be honest, there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of, well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But yes, we did hear Makuta Fest from the set designer who actively worked on this set. It is meant to be a modification of the Glatorian Arena system, symbol. I keep saying system. And I like that too because 2009 and 2010 were kind of an era of their own. They were supposed to be a lot more than what they ended up being. 2009 was kind of like a soft reboot. But obviously we know where that went. But I like that they kind of capture every era of Bionicle in this set. Let's see. To kind of offset all that positivity, because I know a lot of people like both sides, I will say that a lot of the particulars, getting everything kind of just so and just how you want it, or just how the instructions have it, can be really difficult. The tower spikes, obviously all the stickers. I know a lot of people that would bother many. It certainly bothered me a bit. But that's also a kind of part of the fun. This top tower, right up here, it shakes. That is the only part of the set I feel is a little precariously placed. I feel that would likely fall off in the instance of it being tilted too much. And it's definitely heavy. Like that, you don't ever really think about Lego being heavy. Especially for Bionicle fans, because there usually aren't a lot of heavy sets. The closest things that come to mind are Toa Matanui, Takanuva from 2008, and the Axelara T9. Those are probably the heaviest sets out there. Maybe Cardaz, but that depends on really if you count them as a set or a combination model. But this is heavy. Like, I haven't even tried to lift it yet, but each and every individual component, it weighs a bit. That's another really great thing. There's so much detail in all of these levels, like the old city or what is called the old world. Then even just the half of the second, or this half of the second, or just this up here. Honestly, you could just take this and then have these two together. The great thing about the set, I feel, is that it has so much detail in every single one of these levels. They could be their own sets. Like, I can see this easily being its own set. like about $50 roughly, just the old world. I can see that. And then you'd have this component right here. That could be its own set. Maybe that would be about $70. I don't know. These are just, I'm just throwing them out there because I don't know how many pieces go into every level. But to me, this is one of the quintessential Ninjago sets. The others, of course, would be some of the dragons, and then there's the Temple of Air Jitsu. But this is in a class of its own. It is simply almost overwhelming to look at because there's just so much going on. There's so much detail, so many just things for everyone to enjoy. Now, I am a little perplexed by the age range. Bring Will Ferrell in here to say, oh, it's just a suggestion. But they say it's 16 plus. I don't think a 16-year-old would have the ability to buy this. I don't think that this is really a thing one would get another for as a gift unless it was like a grandparent. So, and obviously, over 16, there's nobody under this. It's probably going to be, I don't want to say interested. I don't also want to say incapable because there are people of all ages who can build with Lego and just do a phenomenal job. But I'm not sure if this is an achievable set to get a hold of for anyone younger than 16 even. And then there's that age range that Kevin Hinkle, one of the employees over at Lego, we did an interview with him very recently at Brickfair, Virginia. I highly recommend going and check that out. He was talking about a certain age range that kind of drop off of Lego. And I feel like this set, the age suggestion is right in there. It's right in that kind of drop-off point. So really the only people I see getting this set are people like myself who really want a nice, fantastic display model. I really get most of these references. I appreciate them. I really like them. And I have the ability to afford them. So, I'm not sure. But I also think that's going to be really popular. So there are a few people saying they're in the age range of 16 and 17 are able to. That's fine. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying as a general rule, it's probably highly unlikely. So that's good that you're able to. Within that age range, you're still interested. That's really good, and you're able to buy them. It's also really good. I also don't think that is exactly the norm. But I digress. I think overall, this is a phenomenal set. I think it's really great. I really cannot stop recommending it. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and take some questions from you guys, and we will chat for a little bit. I'm not gonna go for very much longer, of course. There's not a whole lot that's going on, but I would like to do this again somewhat frequently. There's something else I was gonna do. I just can't. Oh no, never mind. I remember now. But yeah. Again, I will be doing a few other videos pertaining to this. This isn't the only one. Yeah, as per usual, how are you guys doing? Hopefully all is well. As far as things that are going on in TTV, I don't think there's any major events going on. Obviously, we're getting videos back out. Hopefully TTV will be back on schedule, hopefully pretty soon. But for me, I've been basically busy working on this. I'd like to do another live stream because if you see right in the upper right hand corner, there is another set over there. That is the Crafting Box 2.0 that was given to me by Lego because I was a part of a contest that they ran for the lugs, and I ended up winning. And they're going to have the winning entry will be on their channel at some point this year. I don't know if I can say when or not, so So I'm just going to leave it at that. But that was one of the prizes for it. So I'd like to build that with you guys, and we can go through that. Wan asks, when will you try to see it if the boat will float? I'm not sure exactly. I don't know. It will be soon, and I will make a video out of it. I just need to get around to doing it. I've been a little bit busy, you know, obviously with this, with other things. I just haven't gotten around to trying that out. Again, I'm confident. I'm not certain, but I'm confident. So we will see. All right. Well, I think I'm actually going to go and wrap up. I've had my spiel. I've said everything I really wanted to say. Again, I didn't want to go on too long today. I've got some other things I need to get to. But I want to just not vent, but kind of ramble on about this a little bit. And now I've gotten it out of my system for today. So, again, thank you all very much for watching. And do go ahead and stay posted. Keep posted with things here. I do things every so often. Eventually, what I want to do, I want to have a set schedule where at least for maybe like an hour, for 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and a half, once a week, just do a live stream, kind of like a show. But I don't know, it's something to consider. But these do crop up every so often. I usually announce them on either the TTV message boards or Twitter, and that's at the Eljay Johnson, capital T-E-N-J, and that is an E in the name, Johnson. So definitely keep track of those, and you'll see a bunch of different updates. I do stuff like post this. Whenever I get some collectible minifigure bags, I'll post what they are there. Flip the luck switch. But in any case, thank you all very much for watching. Feel free to head on over to TTV message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. I've got an AMA topic there where you can ask me absolutely anything that follows the rules. And I cannot guarantee an answer. I also cannot guarantee a good answer. But I can guarantee that you can post there and that I will see it. So, alright. Once again, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope that you all have fantastic days, weeks, months, and years. And I will see you all hopefully very soon. So once again, thank you much, and farewell.